I'm not gonna wait. We're just gonna start now. It's like half an hour early, but this is one of those days. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Under Construction. We are early. This probably is going to be a long episode because you guys know me. I can do AI for... Oh, I could do AI probably... I would be doing it every week if I didn't have to actually build the route. We'll just say that much. But yeah, let's actually get in the route. I want to sort of roll the AI, but I need to make sure that everything's all copacetic before we do. And then we'll get to the important stuff later, like not Tetris. We might dick around and do some other stuff. I need to pull out all my Tolbrand tabs here. I need to rearrange my window. I hit record as early as, like, humanly possible. I didn't even have my desktop set up like I like to. I don't have my window, or my to-do list open, my notes document open. None of that stuff. Hi, Pat. Let's see. Alright, we are here because in between episodes, I noticed a ghost consist right about here, and I had to delete this whole area and rebuild it. So that wasn't fun. Hopefully everything is the same. Hey, Northern, yeah, I'm glad the early start actually does help some people out. Yeah, really, this whole thing is just stymied by me wanting to make things complicated. I really should be just pull forward to here with the, or sorry, pull forward to here, grab this car, put it over here, and then, yeah. I don't know if I made the thing too complicated, but this is one of the things I'm curious about. I'm hoping we can get to this. But the biggest sort of, the biggest deal is, the biggest thing that I need to focus on is the end of the branch line run. And I'm just going to look at this and make sure that this is all set. Program set up for Lionhead turn. That's sort of the big ticket item right now, if we're talking about programming. Let me adjust my windows again slightly, so I can see the chat a little better. Schedule library. Olive freight trains. So if you look at the olive branch train here, what is the last thing it does? It couples at the forestry, and then it drives back to the Y. That's something that I don't know if it can complete, but assuming that it can, we need to know what the consist is when it gets back. So really, I should just run the thing, and we'll see if anything, pops up. And while I'm doing that, we'll play Not Tetris. Alright, I guess I'm gonna save my changes. I didn't actually change anything. But, yeah, there we go. No changes. No changes. I hope everyone's having a reasonably good Thursday. I could never get the hang of Thursdays myself. Let's just double click to start this, as usual. And I need to open up my timetables document and sort of look and see if there's anything that I'm missing. Because it starts after 5. The thing that we're missing is the trains that come through Bellington. And when that happens. Now, the 205 train should actually stop in Bellington. Oh, wait, sorry. We don't have Bellington yet. I'm looking at Pan Am and thinking Bellington. So all this stuff is done. What I don't have... I didn't write the southbound... I didn't do the southbound timetable. Oh, that's loud. We don't even have a southbound timetable yet, because my timetable is such a mess Oh, wait, we do. It's just... Yeah, there we go. It's just the old version. And you guys can't see this, but trust me, it's there. So, I'm not really sure what to do about the southbound timetable. That's probably something we need to think about, and we will think about it um, in a little while. Let me just go over to... Is it Jeff? Yeah, it's Jeff. All the other timing stuff should work out just fine on its own. I just need to take note of anything weird that happens. Anything weird and broken that comes up. But anyway, let's do a game of Not Tetris, and then we can start thinking about the the northbound train schedule. Well, that's the wrong buttons. I'm also not... I can't see the... There we go. That's how you pause. I also need to turn down my volume. Yeah, Northern, you've been doing lots of math. I don't appreciate it because it defrauds the Q2, but I respect it. There we go. I have. I was shown Cetris. I think Mew showed me that. It's real bad. It's arguably worse than this. Oh, can I have a long one? Rarely. Like, there's room for it to lie. I'm pretty sure when math lies, it's just called user error. But also, I mean, the Q2 is the Q2, and no matter what the numbers say, it's still, you know, the Q2. Could have lived in a different world where Duplexi ruled the transition era, but they rejected his message. Did you show Dean your individually drawn boards, Tyler? Q2 isn't the S1. No, I mean, the S1's cool, it was just... The thing is, I feel like the Q2 being so dope and awesome really proved the practicality of the duplex. I mean, it was a beast, and that is proven by science. So, what can I say? I'm a fanboy. I'm a Q2 fanboy. There we go. The Q1, though. Q1 said, let's streamline it like a bullet. Oh, shoot. I looked away to read Northern's comment, and I did an accidental T-spin. Stack up to be solidly inside the pack. Yeah, well. Horsepower, schmorsepower, that's what I say. Brian is still camping. It's a legitimate strategy. Oh, I got it in there! Alright, I didn't expect that to work. Bang and roast stick is good. I need to get one of those hoodie Berks. Speaking of locomotives to buy. Between the hoodie Berks and the i5s, it's a really nice time to be a New England modeler, which is why we should convince Agilies to be a New England modeler. There we go. Hopefully... You know what? I should have a thing set up so that if a train derails, it, like, points me at a sign in the middle of the woods that says something derailed. Or maybe I can just have a thing that says as much, because I don't think the trains go, like, flying off the end of the world anymore. I think I've fixed that. Oh shoot, I kind of botched a really nice opportunity there. Yeah, I mean, the SP had the hoodies as well. Which is, it's interesting to see, and I'm really glad that they're becoming a trading card. It's interesting to see how much the B&M hated them. They're sort of, they remind me of the R1s, the Baldwin Northerns that convinced Baldwin that Northerns weren't a good idea. Those were ACL. Yeah, they were ACL Northerns. They remind me of the R1s in that, like, in theory, they're a robust locomotive and, like, a good locomotive, but something was just not quite right about them, and it basically made, well, it made the B&M sort of write them off as a concept. Fun fact, and this is something I didn't put on the trading card because it would have given too much away. Uh-oh, we're going to lose. The Boston and Maine called them Limas because they were built by Lima. Alright, we'll hide not Tetris because we might come back to it later. I'm going to mute this for a few hours because I don't need this. Alright. Brian Lima balls. Alright, so first thing to write down on the automation front, in the goals automation. Check termination of passenger now that Pan Am is ready. Done. Now that Pan Am is done. Something I need to do for operation is add mainline track marks and standardize interlocking tower, what do you call them? Paths. Path names. And I'm not really sure what I should add for the interlocking tower path names, but it should just be from X to Y. Because they're kind of a mess right now. Alright, there we go. And now you're going to go run around the train. And there isn't really much else for me to look at, so I'm going to start... Okay, yeah, that's the cab that belongs on this locomotive. I'm going to start looking at... If I go over here... And we just have this guy staring at us in the corner of the screen. You love that. I want to start looking at this here, because I need to know when trains are coming through. Now, we know that... And this is... The thing that makes this difficult is the fact that this is only the trains on the north side. And we have... Yeah. This is only the trains on the north side. Because I was figuring out the commuter schedule here. The thing is, I want there to be a reverse commute. And this distance is too long to have the consists sort of returning. Oop. Oop. What is this? I just got a text. Oh. So yeah, this looks like rainbow stuff over here. So honestly, I feel like I should just blow this all away. Because I just need to figure it out one at a time. Can I can't, can you let me scroll, please? Yeah, there we go. Alright, I'm just going to delete everything in here. I'm going to reset the fill. I'm going to reset the text. And I need to look at this. And I need to say, just rationally speaking, not even necessarily looking at all of this other stuff, I need to think about, when are northbound trains coming through? When does the first train leave Gilson City, first of all? When does the first train leave Gilson City? And when does that train arrive in, when does that train arrive in Jefferson? Because that's going to inform when the trains are coming through here. Now, we look at this, and we see that in the morning rush, we sort of have 6:45, 7:05, 7:25, 7:45. This one is these two are commuter trains. And then we have all these commuter trains. So, in the morning, again, before... See, this is interesting because they're still not going to get to Gilson Union until like 11 o'clock. But the first big gap is here, between 9 and 11. And that's what I need to think about. So if it takes, give or take, 2 hours to get between Gilson City and here, and we don't have any trains in a layover facility, right? We don't have a layover facility anywhere in the map, which I should go and look. Documents. Oh, wait, so, no, sorry. Pictures, maps, Tolbrand here. We don't have any layover facilities, right? Because the reverse commute to here is just not that important. And people that are coming from this far away... I mean, maybe we could have a couple of commuter trains stored in Bellington. Maybe a small layover yard in Bellington. That would be an interesting way to go. But you have rapid transit service pretty much out to here. I don't know, you guys can weigh in if you want. Hello, Dragon and Jebediah. So, yeah. I'm thinking about the logistics here, and it would make sense, potentially, to have a layover facility in Bellington. But that said, it would make... I don't know, because you're an hour between the two. Maybe, again, maybe just a couple of trains. But then we need to worry about trains terminating there in the evening. Not that that's absurd or out of the question. But it would mean... When do we want our first train to arrive at this sort of secondary location? I can look at... For a similar city pair, I guess I can go back to the MBTA. So, if we go back to the Providence-Stoughton line, and we look at the timetable, let's say, yeah, for today is fine. Outbound to Stoughton or Wickford Junction. When does the first southbound train arrive in Providence? The first southbound train leaves South Station at 4:25 in the morning, which, if we flip the script here, the first northbound train leaves at leaves at 4:15. That is really early. That's even earlier than I think that we have it right now. No, sorry, we do have the first train leaving at 4:05. We also have we have a mail train and a long-distance train that go overnight for if you really need to be there wicked early in the AM. So, let's blow these away. I wish this would let me scroll, but it won't because I technically don't have my cursor on the end of the window. Let's do this. Reset that. And reset this. Maybe we don't need to figure it all out right now, but we do need to figure out some of it. Oh, shoot. Get these out of here. So we have our northbound trains, of course. Northbound trains, we're going to have, I would say we should have the same number of northbound trains as we have southbound trains. So we need to find 4 more, but that's kind of beside the point. What I'm curious about is, what are our early AM trains? And what is our first train that goes by the map in the morning based on where it is? So, like, is there a southbound on station when we start? Now, a northbound on station when we start. Now, there almost certainly is, right? So, a secondary facility and not a main one. Where am I going? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you go backwards, it's fine. What are some of the name trains? I don't actually have any name trains figured out yet. That's an interesting question that I would love to figure out at some point. Because we have some important trains. We have train 1, 3, I guess 5, 7, and 9 are the main express trains. You have the boat train, which is train number 13. Which is considered an extra train. And then we have the run-through from the Temerosvale and Anaconda here, which comes through at 12:55 p.m. That's a midday. That's your midday long-distance train. There's probably another, there's another long-distance train, and there are actually 2 more in the evening, because the southbound commuter rush in the evening is not as strong. But we do need to look at how many... If I just invert the schedule, maybe that'll work, but I want to sort of develop it organically. And we should probably have the first train... See, the thing is, this is marked off of Wambeck, and that's kind of a problem, because I can't accurately figure out the trains that are coming from Wambeck. It's just too far away. Which is why we don't have any of the trains south of that. These are effectively only trains that are north of Gilson, so there will probably be more. So let's just figure out the north of Gilson trains, north of Gilson commuter trains. If this goes through Gilson Union at, say, 2 a.m., right? If we have 2 trains that are starting at opposite ends of the system at about 12:45, and then it's coming through at 2 a.m., coming through Gilson at 2 a.m., and then going on from there to Olive and beyond, right? That means this is, 2 o'clock, and then it's going to come through here at like 4 a.m. I don't know if that's going to be the first train through, because that doesn't really help when it comes to the overnight service in this location. The other thing is, this is the problem with doing this. I should just figure out the commuter schedule. I should really just figure out the commuter schedule and figure the rest out from there. Because in the morning rush, we could look at trains. Although we probably looked at we did look at... Okay, no, we looked at 30-minute headways. Oh, sorry, that's a 40-minute headway in the evening. Yeah, I mean, look at that. 2:15 to 3:55. That's an hour and a half. Or sorry, that is an hour and 40 minutes between trains. The next commuter train is an hour and 20 minutes after that. The next one is 40 minutes. Then we have a long distance train. Then we have an hour. Then we have an hour and 10 minutes. Okay. So this is sort of our benchmark. We're looking at, in the AM rush, we're probably looking at maybe 6 to 8 trains heading north, with at most, or sorry, at least half an hour headways. So I'll just jot down some times here then. Because if the first train is coming through Olive at like 4-ish, right? And that's the long distance train. This is the mail train. We want our first train out of here to be maybe like 4:55. So 4:55. Although if it's leaving, yeah, no, 4:55 and it's out of the layover yard. And then the second train is going to be like a half an hour after that, or maybe closer to 40 minutes after that. Let's call it 5:25, and then we have a half an hour headway. We'll call it 5:55. Oh wait, that's 30 minutes, and this is 30 minutes. If we were to follow this pattern, it would end up looking like this: 6:25, 6:55, 7:25, 7:55, and then that's probably it for the northbound trains. We would then probably have another one at like 8:55. And that's 8 commuter trains in the AM peak. Which doesn't seem all that unreasonable, because it means we'd be getting 8 trains in, 8 trains into Jefferson in a pretty short time frame. Yeah, an hour doesn't sound terrible from our point of view anyway. Maybe we just have this, and then we do like a 9:55 or something. Because if we look at these are going to be getting into Jefferson, you know, let's say it's, 20 minutes from here by rail. These are going to be getting into Jefferson at 5:15, 6:15, 6:45, 7:15. Yeah, I mean this is a pretty good schedule, honestly. It's just which of these two are coming from the layover yard, and then how are we replenishing that layover yard? Because it's not coming from these guys. These guys are definitely going all the way through. Although the fact that the train leaves Jefferson... Sorry, I had an itch. The fact that the train leaves Jefferson at 4:05 in the morning doesn't actually seem that outrageous. Although, maybe it does a little bit. So I'm gonna make a comment here. Layover yard for these 2 trains. Right? Oops. I want an emergence center. Layover yard. And then, if we were to keep this very preliminary schedule, this means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trains. Alright, let me do over here. Let me put down some math. Number of northbound commuter trains. Number of southbound commuter trains. If we look at this, we see... Hold on. Count if so we have 24. Beach towel special. Okay, we figured that one out. of southbound commuter trains, and right now we have 8 of these. Which means we need to figure out another 16 over the course of the day, but honestly that's fine, because this is the morning rush, and then the rest of them will be sort of vaguely spread out across the day. Also, this time should be the off-map time. That's what we should be bringing to 5. Oh, and of course I've removed this. Now, it takes about 6 minutes to get out of Olive. So, if we look at these, we're looking at... This is going to be a 4:49, 5:49, 6:19, 6:49, 7:19, 7:49, and 8:49, and of course 9:49. Now, I'm not building a staging yard, so these trains are just going to have to be on the system when they're on the system. The first one, this one's already gone, and that means this one's coming. Now, if we want to estimate how long this train takes to get through here, we can sort of look at this and see that it takes 45 minutes to get from Bellington to, or not Bellington, to get, because this, we don't know how long it takes to get to Bellington yet. It takes a little less than 45 minutes. It takes 37 minutes. Is that right? 38 minutes? To get... No. This is 45. From here to here is 45. 45 minus 7. Oh yeah, it is 38 minutes. Okay, so... It takes 38 minutes. Which means... that... Oh, I need to add Pan Am in here. This did not exist. Pan Am. Which means that... all of maintenance landing Pan Am. So this is going to be equals... Oh, it's not going to work because that's not how numbers... because it's time, not whatever. So I've got to do it by hand. 455 minus 38. Well, I guess we can do some of it with a calculator. But, you know, time. Time is in divisions of 60. Minus 38 equals approximately 417. That means this is 517, this is 617, this is 717, and then this is 817. Oh, that's not... That was a disaster. And 917. So I'm sorry that I can't see any chit-chat. A commuter train leaving at 4:05 is not the... No, honestly, a commuter train leaving at 4:05 is pretty reason... Like, it's nice. Like, it's not bad. You just want more of them. And then if we look at 719 and we subtract 38, it's going to become 681. But if I subtract 60 from that, it's going to be 621, which I think is... that's not accurate at all. That's not how math works. Alright, so hold on. Hold on. 625 minus 38. So, 625 minus 38. Equals 587. Oh my god, it's the 587. And if I were to subtract 60 from that... Why doesn't that work? Oh, because I have to subtract 40 from that, not 60. 547. And then 647. Oh, sorry. This one's 547. Going the wrong way. This one is 647. Oh, I bet you guys are upset. Okay. So, this means the closest benchmark we can get is to have a train leave Pan Am at 5:17. And that's probably... So the reason I don't do this is because it takes a lot of upkeep. Every time we move the edge of the map, we sort of have to, you know, put a new, you know, shuffle the train to where it belongs. unless we know exactly where that train can be when the game starts. Now, if it takes another, what was that, 7 minutes to get from Bellington, that means this is leaving at 5:10, which I actually kind of like that. It's a round number. And if we assume that it takes another hour to get to Gilson City, which is being a little generous, that means this one's leaving at 4:10, which tracks. That time actually works for what we want to do, because it lines up really nicely with the 4:05 departure here. Now, the only issue with this is I wanted to make this one come out of the layover yard. So that means we have, what would this be? This would be 5:40, and this would be 4:40. This is all going to be Greek to me when I look at it again. That's the upsetting part, is I'm not even going to know what I meant. But I mean, I know what I'm going to know what I meant, but I'm not going to know what my intentions were. Oh, I kicked my speaker wire. Alright, sound is once again coming out of both speakers. So if we have... Well, okay, 4:45 and 4:40 is pretty reasonable. That makes the first trains be the ones that came out of the layover yard. It also means that we should probably have, if this train is coming through at 2, let's say 2-ish, and coming through here at 4-ish. If we have another train, right? Let me just move this to here. Oh, great. Wish I could make that not happen. Then we should probably have another train that's coming through at... If we're going to split the difference, it's going to be about 3:50. Or, sorry, 3:30. Because that's an hour and a half from 2-ish and an hour and a half from 5-ish. And we did have 2-hour headways here, almost exactly, and then we had a slightly larger gap. But this would mean a train that leaves Wombeck or a point south. Although it'd be interesting to have an overnight train from the NDTNA come through. But then we would have to have something... Oh, well, this would be the counterpart, the TV and ARR train that then goes off map to the NDTNA, which is... It would be you're coming from here, running through Jefferson, running around the peninsula, and then running through Wombeck, and then going down to New DMAG. Which, it's kind of funny that I drew this as Gilson Eastern. I guess this is Gilson Eastern trackage, but that means we don't have the whole of the railroad on the map. Which, well, it's close. That means some of these are going to be going south to New DMAG. And that means they're starting off down there. So, the interesting thing is, if you look at this, this is a midday train, which strikes me as something not super premier. If we have the train... What if it's the same consist? What if that's the point? It's the same exact consist. This TVNRR, this through train, runs the same consist because it runs south at midday and north at midnight. So, if we say this through train is coming through, it leaves Jefferson at about 12:30 p.m. What would happen if it left New DMAG at about 12:30 a.m.? Now, I noticed that that is a little bit further off the map here. Also, 12:30 a.m. is a ridiculous call time for a train, but maybe that's just what they negotiated. Um, they said you get one move per day in each direction, and it better not get in the way of anything. The southbound is the nice one. Maybe the northbound. Maybe there's a northbound equivalent that runs over the NDTNA up that way to Anaconda. I wonder if there were any examples of something like this in real life. People can chime in if you know, is the route a single track, double track combo, or what? Between Wombeck in the south and Jefferson in the north, it is full-on Broadway, aside from the tunnel at Raven Bridge, which is 2-track. Rush hour do trains every 20 minutes or something. Yeah, no, we have the... I will be doing that, and that is what we do. But I'm wondering if... I am wondering if there is a real-life example of trains coming through and doing that sort of single consist deal. Or maybe there are 2 trains, and there's one in the morning and one in the evening. The thing is, that's the boat train, that's the through train. I mean, it would kind of make sense to have both, right? We have train 101. The night mail exists. Yeah, I could swap this out. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 long distance trains. Now, here's the issue with that. We don't have enough numbers for that. Oh, sorry, no, those are in the hundreds, my bad. Those are the through local trains. Well, no, because then we have still a 2-hour gap here, and that's pretty reasonable, and it's fine. Leaves there at 12:30. Do we just drop it in, like, right before this? Because the overnight train, I mean, it being a true red-eye and leaving at midnight 30 is kind of insane, but so is a train leaving at 2:45 in the morning. I mean, it just happens, you know? Lakeshore Limited splits, yeah, shorter train goes to Boston. We are doing that somewhere else. I have ridden that more than once. That was my only way home for a while, for the first year of college. Yeah, I mean, whatever. We'll just call it that, and if we want to change it later, we'll change it later. If anybody knows of a situation where there was a train that basically ran with a single consist, still, it's either that or this. Because this theoretically would get here at about 5-ish and here at about 7-ish and probably to here, whatever. Which would mean that coming from off-map, I mean, we don't know how long this run takes, but it's going to be a little while. It's longer than this, which is about 20 minutes. So this is going to be, I don't know, maybe half an hour. Which means if it left at the same time as it leaves Jefferson, it's going to show up on system at about same time as it leaves Jefferson, so 2:20 plus half an hour is 2:50. Which means it's still getting down here, like, in this stretch of time. That's the crazy thing. That's the thing that's being missed here, is that we're looking at it from this way, and if we flip the script, the first train to get down here isn't going to show up until like 5 5 in the morning. There's a whole 5 hours for stuff to go on. And that's what I'm sort of looking at here and going, okay, but how do I make a train come even sooner than this? And it's more important if that's if this is sort of all previous tasks are complete, huh? Nobody derailed yet, right? All right, Tom's coming this way. Oh no, Tom's going that way. Skip is coming this way. Duke's heading out. Jane is here, and Jane is about to, I think, delete the consist? Yeah, it waits for 30 seconds, then it deletes the train. So these trains will just delete themselves when they reach end of track, which is good and what is supposed to happen and what I want to happen. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so let's go back to where we're supposed to be. Jeff is doing an admirable job. Oh, Wazai's completed emergency braking. You have your whole train? Yeah, you do. Okay. I thought there was something missing there for a minute. Oh, this is the really complicated part starts, because we've got to switch out this industry. Alright. This is the difficult part, yeah. There's something here. We'll just say there is something here. What matters isn't that there is something there. What matters is that there's nothing that's going to show up on system for us yet. We have to figure that out later. Because the scenario starts at 5 a.m. So we're not even going to see this train, but we are going to see this train. And if this is a... Let me just delete this. And just say NB here. Gilson Eastern non-binary. And we'll put that there. And we'll put this here, and we'll say that if these two trains are out of the layover yard, then we're going to need to program them as is. And if these two trains are out of the layover yard, they don't even need to show up. They come on system in Bellington at what time? I mean, I guess if they're starting at 4:05, they're coming into Bellington, or they're coming out of Bellington, they're leaving the station in Bellington at, well, what's 4:05? It's 4:50. 4:50 and then 5:10. 4:50 and 5:10. Which means that those crews don't have to be on as early, and honestly, yeah, I feel like we should have another long distance train then. Probably the counterpart to the through train here. At this time of day. West Texas Limited had, but then I remembered it had 3 cars to Chicago. Okay. Alright. Yeah, this is going to be one of those days where I rack my brain a whole lot, let me tell you. It's going to be a lot of just figuring out. But the real important piece of this... Why are these one square lower? Let's move that up like that. The real important piece of this is that the first passenger trains that we're going to see... This is also going to be 410. Yeah. The first passenger trains that we're going to see are going to be this train that leaves Bellington at 5:10. There aren't any other trains on this system yet unless we want to figure out these two long-distance trains and see if there's one that's on its way through. The gap between this train leaving and this train coming on the system, or sorry, there is a gap between that train leaving the system and this train coming on the system. That's what makes the difference. So let's think about a long distance train, because I do want to see something on system when we get started. So if we have two trains in the morning, we have one that's wicked early and gets out of here before say 4:40. And then we probably are going to have another one. Here, can I do this? Oh wait, let me do it like this so it doesn't make me insert 2. Insert cells and shift right. Alright, that's the opposite of what I wanted to do. I don't want to be cool like you. Oh wait, if I do this, will it still let me insert cells and shift right? Please put in just one row. Ah, man. Alright, well, whatever. I can delete one row. Delete cells and shift left. Yeah, there we go. The magic of Excel. Or Google Sheets. Alright, let's put this here. Let's cover that for now, but that's not going to be the color that this stays. If this is 19, which, why is it 19? It should be 11, which means we can squeeze in 11. So 19 and 13 are taken. 15 is there, and then we don't have another. We don't have any more. So 19, 13, 15. Yeah, so we can squeeze in 11. Which means that this is probably going to be green. 11. And I'll call this through. I'm going to check on everybody's chit-chatting again, as always. And, so if this thing... So everything's sort of based around when it comes into Gelson City, because there isn't a train that doesn't do that. This train, if these guys are layover yard, that means they're starting here, and these don't matter. So that means these guys are starting. So this is 5, 10 ish, and that's what we need to base it off of, because if we're trying to replace these guys that are coming through at 4:05 and 4:25, and we have our train that leaves probably Temeros or someplace to the north, which is going to be like, it's a ways up there. I mean, if it's a proper night train, it's probably leaving at 9 p.m. But we'll say that the Gelson Eastern said, you're coming over our track, you're going to run when we want you to. We need you to fill this exact slot. That's the sort of price you pay for the one-seat ride. Train leaves Temeros at 1 a.m. or something. Takes an hour to get... Oh no, I just saw somebody stuck. Oh, never mind. Signal ahead is in an unknown state. What does that mean? I feel like I swear this figured it out before. What does that mean? I can click on it and it can't take me... It doesn't take me to it. Here. What is the signal ahead, as it were? What is the next signal? Is it because it's across the bridge? What are these signals? Are these dwarf boards I stuck in here? Oh, it's that. It's for the siding. Wait a minute. Is this for the siding? That is for the siding. So what is the signal ahead? This one. What is this one? Line is clear for 2 blocks. Alright, why is this having problems? We're going to need to write this down. Because... Nope. I'm actually going to look this up. I like how it gets closer every time. Unknown state, Trainz. It happens when a train is facing them. I don't like that. I don't like that answer. Maybe I can tweak this. Goals, automation. Where's the... alley line? When leaving MV station... That's not how that works. When leaving MV station, northbound. Is this after uncouple? No, this is when it's... Alright, that's really kind of interesting because... I wonder if I can just tell it to set the signal. Or if I can find some different semaphores that won't do this. I wonder if it is a signal problem because the next signal is one that clearly works fine. And eventually it's going to get out of here. So... eventually it's going to crawl forward enough that it gets past this... Actually, the real question is, why does it jump to forward for just a second? What is it doing? Is it because it loses control of this junction and it flips back the other way or something? No, that's not it. Has control of that one, has control of that one, and then that. This. Next up is this one. And then line is clear ahead for 2 blocks. That's an interesting kind of conundrum. This branch is really bad for signaling and has been the entire damn time. Oh, I love that. Okay. I think it's just this signal. I might want to replace it with something, but I do want to leave in... I do want to have some sort of semaphore. So if you guys have a recommendation, I'll pick one up. Let's see. I think if I fiddle with the config of the next signal, it will help me, it'll make that work. Check, place, it got out. Replace semaphore, or check config of PL down the line. That's something to do when we get out of this session, when stuff is clearly broken. Alright, well that's why I had that, that open. Speaking of which, where is... There you are. Let's jump back to you. Okay. Through train. Let's say, like I said, leaves Tamaros. We'll call that the originating point for this train. Leaves Tamaros, takes an hour to get to Jefferson, and then takes 20 minutes to get from Jefferson to on the map. So it has an hour and 20 minutes of lead time, and it arrives here sometime around 4 o'clock. And the reason I say 4 o'clock, I didn't just pull that out of my whatever. Although that is still going to clear the map before we're done. But the reason I say 4 o'clock is, yes, it's a little close to this, but it's about an hour before this, which is about an hour before this, which is about an hour and change before this. And that's sort of vaguely what I'm thinking, because then you have 2 hours in between these two trains, or sorry, 3 hours in between those two trains. And also, this is sort of going to serve as an express train, but it is going to make some local stops. It's not going to stop at Mason's Landing or Pan Am, but it is going to stop in Olive and Bellington. It's probably going to stop in Ravenbridge as well. So that's why these event trains are a little bit different. Also, the boat train is marked as stopping at Olive, but that's definitely not going to happen. This is an important train. It is coming straight through without stopping. But this one is going to stop. So that's the other thing, though. If we look at this, right? Unless you're going to hop on a commuter train. I mean, Olive is a relatively large town, although I guess it isn't as big as... Yeah, okay, whatever, this makes sense. Makes sense enough. Unless you're going to hop on one of these other trains, yeah, you've got to get on a commuter train and go at least to Bellington, and Bellington is getting larger and larger in my head. Hop on a commuter train and go at least to Bellington, and then you can get on one of the express trains, because I think I'm going to have these trains stop in Bellington instead of going, well, some of them going super express. Maybe train 1 will stop there, and then obviously the trains in purple and the trains in green will. This is an interesting time for this. 5 and then 6 for a pair of straight-through trains. I mean, I guess they're important. Those towns are important. And they are running continuously, although this one terminates at Gilson Union, which is an interesting sort of wrinkle. I feel like this one should keep going. This one should keep going, maybe this one should terminate at Gilson Union. Although it'd sort of be like having a train terminate at New York Penn. It just doesn't really happen that often. You can, aside from commuter trains. I mean, you have stuff doing the Empire service, which does, of course, but I'm talking, say, a Northeast Regional terminating there on a regular schedule, ignoring the current situation with the night owl. Like that, I want the damn Night Owl back. And I want it good back with the sleeper car on it. Anyway. Yeah, everything's going to stop at Bellington. It's going to be larger than Olive. Just bottom line is it's going to be larger than Olive, which not something that I expected from the get-go, but there we go. It's going to be at least twice the size, I feel like. It's going to be sprawling. So, yeah, I'm thinking like Saco, Maine a little bit. Or, is it Saco or is it Bridgeton? The one with the really, really big mill building. Or is it a different... Oh, it is Saco. Yeah. This one. I'm thinking of a town about this size. Between Biddeford and Saco. But with a passenger station that is not a single track. You know? Something that's a little bit better than that. I wonder what the train station looked like for this place originally. This looks like a train station. Field trip. Yeah, that looks like a train station to me. Or at least a freight house. Yeah, I wonder. Anyway. Big enough for multiple terminal elevators. I'd say at least 2. Do some Acela services terminate there, or was that just a pre-COVID thing? Because I haven't seen any of those. I used to look at the timetables religiously, but I mean, if you say so, it's a shame that there aren't timetables anymore. But I wasn't aware of any. I didn't know about any Acela services terminating at New York Penn. Anyway. Yeah, I'm on the fence about these trains stopping or what have you. I'm just thinking if someone needs to go through in the morning, they can wait until the 6 o'clock train, or they can take the 4 o'clock train. But, yeah, I'm thinking 4 o'clock, 4:05. I mean, this guy's making stops. He's not making every stop. The local train is making every stop. The 101. Excuse me, making all stops in the middle of the night. But this train, I mean, let's just say 4:05 then. And let this one be a sort of aberration. And that means this would be 4:11, just like that, 4:27, and then what would that be, 4:46? And then you get into Bellington at, oh, that was a couple. 4:50 something, right? 4:53? Right after this guy leaves. Which is sort of an interesting wrinkle. It doesn't really make a difference because they're going in the same direction. But yeah, this plus 7 is 4:53. So this guy's off system by the time that we get to him. I mean, part of me just wants me to, like, I want to scoot it onto the system, right? But that's not going to happen. Maybe it will. Maybe I'll change my mind. But set that to black. And let's call this, what time would this be? 5:35. 5:35. And I'll mark that in yellow because we have no way of knowing if that's accurate or not. So if you're coming through to one of these intermediate stops, you can get on this, and then go to here, and then wait. uh, but that's sort of a different issue. Yeah, why not just get on this and yeah. Because you're not going from a local train to an express train, you're going from an express train to a local train. It doesn't really make any sense when the local train has to catch up with you. No, I want this to go right before this. I want this to be a sort of timed transfer. Because if we have this train that's coming through, and this is why, this is like an important one, and we can say this train gets held for this one on a regular basis, but genuinely speaking, I don't really want to, you know, we're not going to show that. So this goes to 406 then, this goes to 22, this goes to 1, and this goes to 47. So we have 447, and then I bet it will just go express into Gilson Union. That works. I mean, that genuinely does work. This will be the earliest, like the earliest sensible train. Like I said, this guy is making all the stops. If he comes through, you know, if he comes out of the gate at 3:45 or at 2:45, that means he's going to be 3:51, and then probably 5:07, or sorry, 4:07, and then 4:26, and then yeah, and then 4. What am I doing? 2:51, not 3:51. 2:51. Move these back by an hour. 3:07, 3:26, and finally we're on to Bellington. We're looking at what is this? This is another 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Wait, something doesn't add up. Well, whatever. These are approximate times. We'll figure out what they are in practice many years from now, because in order to do these AM trains, it means we have to make it through like 22 hours of Tollbrand running. But let's see. So this is going to be 3:32, 33, 3:33. It's 7 minutes. Yeah. Nailed it. We're back on the rest of the train. Oh, we're finally going to the place. FRA-approved coupling speed. Uh-oh, waiting for access. Skip. Skip, what's going on with you, buddy? Stuck. No, I hate stuck. Wait, what? What are you trying to do? Oh, shoot. How did this happen? Okay, how did this happen? This guy drove up here, right? Got confused. Is there a track mark up here? No, there's not. Okay, so he needs one, because he got confused. He tried to pull forward. This probably auto-assigned a, probably auto-assigned something. Oh, here comes the two trains together. That's always cool. So these guys are jammed. Where are you going? Where are you going? He's just gonna drive straight through. He's gonna go across the way, I bet. He's gonna try to drive all the way over there, because this guy is rolling back and forth. Oh boy. Where are you going, man? Let's see. I mean, are these... The turnouts are all lined for him to go... Oh, almost. This is the one that's cocked up. Hmm. Skip and Hentis are both stuck staring at one another. Oh! Hey, would you look at that? Well, now he's going backwards. Are they just going to crash into one another? Are they going to figure this out? I doubt it. But, you know, they might. You never know. Oh, and this is the line for him to go forward. Oh, this is a mess. This is what Yardmaster feels like watching crews work. I hope they aren't nearly this frustrated. Let's look at... This is Mason's Landing to Olive. Check. No, wait for first... Wait for first delivery. Wait for first mainline crossing of intermodal shunter before switching train. Also add track mark to help with run around. Scott is also stuck. Who is Scott? So that's you. You're stuck. You're stuck. Again. Wait, how are you oh. Because you took too long. Because you took too long, you got stuck at the signal, and now you're gonna gum everything up. You're gonna gum everything up! Okay. Well, whatever. This guy's still doing his thing. If this guy can do it and leave, then we can kill this and start fixing stuff. Back to brainstorming. Yep, Hentis is stuck also. I'm glad I'm running today instead of waiting. I'm glad, man, I wish it was running. It doesn't seem to be doing so good at that. Alright. Alright, let's look at this again. Also, whenever I change something, I have to mess with all the crap down there. Which then causes all sorts of problems. It's cascading changes, you know? So we have a through at night and through in the morning. And these use the same consists. Oops. I wanted to make the text red. So we're going to mark that off. I'm going to mark 2 trains each at layover yard in Billington. I should just tell those guys to abandon their schedules because they're just going to keep saying they're stuck. Just going to casually rip my hair out. Okay. And as soon as we kill this, we have a lot of things to fix and work on, so. But now we need to look at the trains going the other direction and see if there's anything that we need to worry about. Until we get to Bellington and build the layover yard, this train doesn't matter, and this train doesn't matter until we basically have the entire route done. But we do have this, which, the question train, which is either a through or a long distance, I don't know which. Also, this long distance train is stopping at both of these locations. There we go. Which is, boy, that's going to be hell. That needs to be a short, long-distance train to fit in the siding at Bellington. Or, sorry, fit in the siding at Mason's Landing. Let's see, let me look at this again. Just always checking my comments. I wish I saw a little, I kind of wish I could see a little thing up there of like, hey, this is how far you are. This is how many notifications you've missed. Wait, what was I looking at there? I was streaming and recording here. Just checking on that. The second stream chat, as it were, sometimes. It ain't no luxury train. No, it's not going to be the luxury train. We're getting that in Train 1 and especially Train 3, I would feel like, is a luxury train. Okay. So, going the other way. Train leaves New DMAG, New DMAG, at, well, same time this guy leaves. So we'll call it 3-something in the morning, you know? It's going to be 3, well, actually, no, because this was an hour and 20 ahead of time. Oh, and I just said 4 o'clock arbitrarily. After all that thinking, I just wrote 4 o'clock. But that means this left Tamaros at 2:40 or 2:30 in the morning or so. Which means if this one's leaving at about 2:30, it's going to come into Wombeck at about 3. And then if it takes 2 hours to get here, it's going to get there at about 5. And then we already know that it's not showing up on this thing. Three-ish. 5-ish. Oop, that's T-ish. 5-ish. And center that text. And say that, okay, one final hope is maybe a train that leaves... Well, no, an overnight train that leaves there just straight up doesn't make any sense. Because we have a train through at 2-ish. That's the mail train. A train through at 5-ish. What about a train that leaves... Well, okay. The only other alternative... Well, okay, no. Let's work backwards here. If a train is showing up here, Bellington, at about 5 in the morning, it's leaving Gilson City at about 3. Which means it's in between these two trains, right? So, we already have a train that leaves Gilson City at about 2. It's the night mail. I would figure there's going to be a passenger car or 2 on the night mail. And I don't really know how mail ops work, unfortunately, so we'll figure that one out. One of the things that I'm missing for a lot of these is, you know, I don't have like a rail serve post office, but I suppose it would just be mail bags at these locations. Unfortunately, yeah, I know precious little about proper mail ops. If anybody knows anything that I don't, feel free to say so. Where's my thing? It's over here. On time or no pay, yeah. Me playing Derail Valley be like. Which, I'm sorry that Derail Valley series never materialized. I kind of wanted to do it with the Persistent Jobs mod, and, it's just, doesn't exist yet. Oh! Oh, never mind. This mod has been discontinued for its spiritual successor. Look at this. And this says, nope, don't work. So, yeah. Oh, this was posted just a few days ago. Anyway. Sticky and locked. Anyway. I would love rolling stock ownership to be available. Anyway, I like Derail Valley. But I like it with persistent jobs. It makes me have to take notes. That's not why I like it, but I do like it. Okay, sorry, back to this. Mail trains came through at night, distributed boxcars full of mail to smaller towns if they were a certain population or higher. Okay, interesting. So maybe we could have it set out a boxcar in Bellington and not so much in Olive because the station is not set up for that. And we'll just have it do mail bags at the platform or something. Anyway. So we need a train that leaves Wombeck early in the AM. Like, really early. Like a true overnight train. But we have our mail train that leaves at midnight. And we have our... Okay, there's one thing we're missing here, though. There's one thing we're missing here. And it's that the mail sorting center would be at Gilson. Which means the mail trains would not run all the way. Wait a minute, how come you didn't pick up anything? Wait, what? Hold on. What did I miss here? Why didn't this guy pick up the log cars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 log cars. What's wrong? Now we have to stop. Mason Valley. Why does it fail to pick up the log cars when going to load? Question mark. Also, should it grab the caboose, tuck it, and then grab the log cars and do... Well, I guess it doesn't have to. So if it grabs the log cars and puts them back, then puts the caboose on, then grabs the train, that might be what it does. I mean, let's just check. Couples back there, uncouples from vehicle 2, runs to the end of track, waits, uncouples. Okay, yeah, so that's exactly what I was thinking. Couples back there, and then leaves. Now it's time to stop and figure it out. Alright, playtime's over. Time to do the hard stuff. There's a mail hook asset. Yeah. Now the trains are broke completely over a signal. Unfortunately, it's more than that, it would seem. Okay, so I'll turn off the screen so we can get to some programming. As long as everything moves, you know? As long as the trains show up when they're supposed to. I wonder what caused... some of this. So we can take it from the top. Or from the bottom, more like. And I'm just going to go look at this. This might be a difficult thing to troubleshoot, but I'm going to look at this first. And I'm going to put down... Oh, let's switch to the route layer. I'm going to put down a locomotive here. Kanawa is fine. And if I throw this switch, everything else should be fine. Yeah. So that shows that. Now, the question is, now this says 2 blocks ahead, right? And this is basically the problem we had with the other signals. For these guys down here. You're like, signals. You. Type automatic, configuration mode basic. Block length 2, back-to-back rules false. We didn't really change anything, and it seems to be working okay now. I'm guessing these signals just straight up don't understand the one that they're looking at. Which is a little bit annoying, because I would like it to understand what it's looking at. Also, two blocks cleared ahead should definitely mean... 2 blocks cleared ahead should definitely mean a vertical bar, but that's not what we get on those signals. I want to grab this. Hmm. I mean, we could always just have it force it, but I don't really want that to be the way we fix our problems. Although, hold on, let me put this back and just check something. And that's the real question, is I wonder what was changing. If I throw that switch, doesn't move, which is interesting, because it should be lined to this, so it should give me a yellow. But maybe the animations aren't playing in Surveyor. Can I set this to be like a, say, block length 1? No. No, that doesn't really work. Also, what does this do, even? I mean, I could just F with the config until it works, but like I said, we can't see what the change is. We don't see what that signal is showing. And that's still showing yellow, perplexingly enough, even though there's nothing lined to it anymore. And that's showing red, because it doesn't know what it's looking at. I wonder. I wonder, I wonder. And we just put this here, too. Are these the only semaphores I have? Because I just kind of want a semaphore for this. Other than, I guess, the LMS ones. Well, those... They're okay. the British ones. But it's just not what I want. It's not what I want. I'm wondering if the one on the other end... Oh, that's the only one we have. Oh, that's why it didn't... Oh, because this guy's over here. That guy's over here. I don't know, I mean, I just think it's I just think it's neat. I mean, I think it's a nice aesthetic sort of piece. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, so... I mean, how much do we really need this signal here? Realistically, this would not be necessarily signaled territory, but I'm trying to protect all the entrances to the main line, at least as best I can, without going completely hog wild. Oh. This guy was here to tell me all about signals. Again, this just doesn't help. Ooh, if I had like a banjo or something really wacky, that would be great. That I would put here. But yeah, we'll have to play with that later. But right now, we need to get it to work before we do this again. Check termination of passenger trains. I think that's fine, but that's a sort of bigger problem that goes with the interlocking tower path names. Let's go look at the thing that really is the kicker, which is the olive branch. Stands to reason that all of the things that are programmed the same. Okay, I think it just might be because it's straight up too far away. The train stops over here somewhere, and I want to say, if there's anything that's getting in the way, it's just not going to work. So I'm just going to add something in the middle here. What happened is the train couldn't get past that signal because the signal was saying it was an unknown signal aspect. So, yeah. GLOB Forestry Main 2. Right, so, let's just change the name of this to GEOB Forestry Main. And that's it. It's just going to be called Forestry Main because it's right in the middle. And we're going to change the programming for the olive freight trains. So I need to look for where it loads at the forestry. Right here, right? Forestry. Couple at track mark. GEOB Forestry Main. And then I will do that again down here. Couple at track mark. GEOB Forestry Main. Alright, hopefully that fixes that problem. Might just be too far away. Sometimes that genuinely helps. Now we need to look at something a little bit different, which is we keep running into the problem where the MLOL1, the train coming from Mason's Landing, pulls into here to get ready to disassemble itself. And I believe it waits for a train to come in on track 1. Or it at least waits for something to happen over here. Right? I believe there's a trigger over here somewhere. It's right there. It's in the engine shed. What I want to do instead is have the trigger up here. And say that this is... Let's see, how do we name a trigger? Standards, triggers, railroad town location description. Alright, so this is GEOL, Butler Yard Lead, T. We're going to set this to 10. And I'm going to say that to make things run a little bit more smoothly, oh, I'm also going to add another track mark. But all of freight trains, MLOL1, so it does all this stuff, waits for the station, waits for a train to come through the station, then it waits for Yard Throat ST to be triggered by any train. That's what it does. And then it tries to go couple. So instead of this, I'm going to say wait for trigger. Butler Yard T, any train. Okay. So instead of that, it's going to do this. And it's going to uncouple, and then it's going to go try to run around the train. But first, to help it out, I'm going to give it an extra track mark or two. Because I don't want to get it confused. Let's put a track marker here. And say, this is GEOL Butler Yard Lead. We can just call it that. Because we don't have one there. Do we have one here? Is this called Butler Yard Lead? That's Goose Valley Road. Okay, never mind. That's not it. We need to put in track marks for those other tracks, because they have been screwing me up when we've done iPortal stuff. Which I already have 2 iPortals, so I don't know why I'm putting all the... Well, it's because the iPortals are not on the DLS. They're different ones. That's a problem. I mean, the DLS-only nature of this route has already been screwed a little bit, but I don't want to blow the doors off, so to speak. Let's see, Butler Yard Lead, and then I want you to... Yeah, okay. We will give it some more explicit instructions. Schedule library, all of freight trains. MLOL1. Go here, you wait for this. You uncouple. You drive to track mark. A Butler... Bloop, I missed it. Drive to track mark. Butler Yard Lead. Where'd it go? There it is. And then drive via track mark. I think track B. Right? Butler Yard North B. And then drive to track mark. What is this? GEOL Yard Limit. GEOL Yard Limit. Where is it? Oh, it's on the next one up. GEOL. No, where is it? I can't read. There it is. And then go couple a track mark. Isn't there like a wait 5 minutes in here somewhere? Which was a really poor way to do this. I'm going to change this to wait for 30 seconds. Just to let it get out of the way. Alright, so we're going to delete that. Add with track mark. I'm going to put and return train with empties in parentheses because that's kind of a different problem. I think the terminating trains are fine based on what we just saw. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm looking at. I'm sorry about that. Hi, baby. The pupper is... I don't know. He's probably in the front window waiting for you to come home. Lafayette! I just heard him jingle. Okay. It's getting dark in here. I miss you. Sorry, I'm gonna simp on camera, guys. You guys are gonna have to deal. Lafayette, your mommy wants to see you. Come here. Come here. Hi. Hi. Look at the camera. You're a really good boy, okay? You're being a good boy today. But I'm gonna have to give you more eardrops. Okay, he's sleepy. Hi, thank you. Do you want to lay down? Okay. There you go. Go lay down. He will now go lay down. Yep, there he goes. Okay. What is next? Programming olive branch. Okay, we need to figure out the signal ahead is in whatever state thing. And I need to figure out if there's anything that we can use to get around it. Because I want to use it, but also I can just go manage content, download station, and just look up semaphore and see if anything comes up. There's some B&M ones, which I will download. As long as the game doesn't crash on me. What if there's any New Haven ones? So here are all the US&S ones. You guys still can't see what I'm doing, but that's okay right now. Here, take a look. I'm on the download station. Semaphore Bridge, Reading Semaphore Bracket, New South Wales, LMS. The British are a lot better known for their semaphore. I'm also going to download these. These are by Senior Chief. From here to here, I'll just download them all. And it will probably download the important dependencies. MIDI pat semaphore. What the heck is that? Hold on. Are there... Okay, no, there aren't any banjo signals. There are just crossing ones. Grandpa Banjo. Anyway. Alright, so we downloaded the other ones. I'm going to go back to select route. I'm going to go over to the testing route. I think I'll just edit session on this one, and we'll see how it goes. Stuff's going to be broken as sin, I bet. Yeah, look at that. That's not the way it's supposed to be. But that's okay, because I'm just going to repurpose one of these. I'm going to jump into route layer, as we should be doing. And I'll just extend this track out to here or so. The curve is intentional. Alright, so we have a signal at the end, but I'm going to throw in... oh, it's still compiling the scripts from downloading stuff. I'm going to use just the good old track ends. Oh, shoot. This thing is on... this piece of track is on the session layer, isn't it? Sure is. Never do that. Pro tip. Everything should be on the route layer. Stuff will save things on the session layer, but everything should be on the route layer. Alright, so let's get one of these PRR super signals that I've been using. Not these old school guys. We're talking... where are they? Not that one. This one. And then we'll throw in one of these. Or another one further down the way. Because we aren't worried about what happens when there's another train there. We're just worried about what happens at all. And I think if we do it in Surveyor 2.0, we should get the automatic updating, because trains should still be able to drive around, right? US and S. Which one was I using? I was using, I think, this one. Oh, two of these are broken. I think I was using this one, although I had it on the left. What is that light? Oh. This is a left side one? No? So, what is the difference between the two of these? If I switch to Surveyor 2.0, what happens? This thing still says it's good. What's funny is this also says 2 blocks ahead or whatever. Hold on, go into drive, please. Nope, don't care about the noodle boy right now. Oh, line head is clear. Line is clear for 2 blocks. Line is clear for 1 block. And that ends. So, what is it about... oh, because this isn't the signal that we're using, is it? We're using the slightly different one. Edit in Surveyor Classic. Let's look at the other one. This one, right? Still showing a V-bar, which it doesn't do on our version of the on our route. Maybe because we have a switch down here. I mean, the only way we're going to replicate these conditions exactly is if we go on the route, but that's a lot of fiddling. Train too close, can't add a thing. Well, let's do this then, and this, and this, and that. Okay. Delete that. So it's still not saying that we're having an issue, so it makes me sort of wonder why the one on our route does. What's the difference between this one and that one? Nothing. I mean, honestly, they're identical. They're the same signal. And this time we're getting a normal aspect and this. I mean, let's throw down a pedestal dwarf and see what happens. Or just a dwarf board, I guess. What if I replace this one with a dwarf? It's weird how this works in the test, but never works on the route. Oh, there we go. Now we've got a problem. But this is still showing green, which is really interesting. What happens if I throw down a thing right there? Okay, so this is not animating. What if we drive? Ah, there we go. Okay, so what is it about this that's causing problems? This is the bugged out line is clear ahead for 2 blocks. Because it's going up against the dwarf that has problems. And then that's why this doesn't get it, because frankly I don't either. So let's let's do that. Let's go back into Tolbrin and see if there's anything we can do to make this a little bit better. Because, like I said, the one we were looking at was not giving us the answers that we wanted. Edit session. The signaling on this branch line has been the most frustrating part of this entire route build. And that's saying something. That is saying a lot. How'd I forget? He's eepy. So, yeah. It has to do with which signals we're using. And I wonder if... Well, no, because it's that diagonal aspect that should be a green, that should be vertical, that is leading to these problems, which sort of, so say we all. That's sort of everything. Because the reason it's a little bit perplexing to me, though, is because I had pretty much the same setup. So we have our... Oh, I need to get rid of this before it causes problems. We have this here. And it is looking at... The next signal that it's looking at is, I'm pretty sure, that signal that's leaving town. Because it's not these. Unless it's trying to go this way. Because that would be a different problem. Just looking at this, which is the same signal type that we were using. This one, yep. Which is, in turn, looking at whatever the next signal down the line is, which, if I remember right, is the one here. And these are explicitly not dwarf boards, unless I left one by accident. No, there's this one here. So I cannot fathom why that's an issue, because, well, I don't understand why we're getting that half aspect to begin with, and following on to that, why... Yeah, because the next signal for that, I mean, there isn't another dwarf until you get into here. So why is this guy showing the weird aspect? I wonder if I bring it back to here. And just put the signal here instead of over there. Maybe. I don't think that would make a difference, but I can try. It might make more sense in general if a train is being held on the main for a freight that's coming in for the siding. I just don't understand how that would make a difference. I mean, if we throw down... Let's find a locomotive here. This guy facing this way. Shows green, it's not green. So what's your problem then? Can I get it to show green? By adding more signals, perhaps. Yeah, okay, so if I add another signal, it shows what it's supposed to. What if I set block length to be 3? What if I set it to be 1? Okay, so we're getting a 1 on that. But this would mean that, you know, if we have another thing up there, this is either showing go ahead or don't. Which kind of makes sense, because you're not going to have... I haven't stopped the Magic Mikado. I don't have a replacement mic yet. It kind of makes sense because if you have this, right? You're not going to have it pull up to the next thing and stop. This sort of needs to function like a distant signal, because it is. Red. No, because you're never going to come up to this thing and stop. Never, never, never. And so maybe I should say that for the other one too. The only reason you'd come up to this and stop is if... The only reason you'd come up to this and stop is if you're following another train closely. I wonder if that'll make the difference. Well, now I see a green. Oh! No, that's correct. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. I wonder if setting those to block length 1, effectively turning them into distant signals, is the way to go here. I wonder if that'll work. I'm going to go test it in the other world. So, exit Surveyor. Save changes, please. Yeah, no, we haven't fixed the magic mic because there's no like reskin of it that exists yet. Once that happens, then maybe I can worry about that. I don't remember what... Yeah, what was the issue with that? Or, you know, where did it screw up? It crashed into the caboose. Oh, right. So things are just going to end there every time we try to test the session. Forgot about that. New route. I mean, I could swap it out for another locomotive. I've talked about doing that. Okay. So we have it giving us the goofy signal aspect. What if I set it to block length 1? So now it's giving us a green. And now, what does this signal say? This signal says, line ahead is clear. So that might actually work. Okay. Alright. I will say for now that we have solved the problem, but we will have to check yet again. So deleting that, clearing that up. Um, Continue programming all branch programs. Set up for Lionhead turn. Put together Lionhead turn. Um, I don't know what else we can do here, because we don't have a... Like we figured out, we don't really have a passenger train that's going the other direction. So we can't figure that out. What we can do... Not edit route. What we could potentially do is just go back and start the session again. And see what happens from there. But nothing else is going to be really different. The other thing we could do is do the incredibly boring task of finishing setting up all the interlocking towers, the stuff that we haven't done yet. But I've been adding interlocking tower paths sort of as I've needed them, which isn't the way to go, for the record. So I'm not sure if that's wise. So I'll do something else. Well, no, I don't really want to try to start figuring out Bellington's arrangement of everything. Not really sure what my next move should be. Well, what I should have done is, like, taken a screenshot of this, the situation of the yard when we got done here, but when that guy gets back, ideally the Mikado will be leaving already. However, as previously mentioned, the Mikado can't leave because it keeps driving through walls. Or driving through things and into things. I don't know of another... of a Mikado with a different engine spec that's on the DLS. Because that's where we need to go a little bit further. Let's see. I mean, I guess we have some really old ones. We have the old, LNER P2, huh? Oh, let's look at this. Let's look at... We can pick something and figure something out, and if we can get it to run today, that would be great. But once I start the session again, I'm gonna go make dinner. So, oops, I didn't want to fill the whole screen with that. Just replace the iPortal tunnel. Well, unfortunately, it's crashing into other things. That's an engine spec. What the heck is this? You know what? I'm gonna have to go into a different route, because if I do this if I start downloading things while I'm in Tolbrin, it's going to crash the game. So, with that in mind, let's go back to the ideas route. For the testing route, I guess. So I did just search up Mikado, as you guys saw. LNN1. You know what? I'm going to say download station, and I'm going to just disable all this stuff because I want to see the one that I have downloaded. Oh. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go view dependencies, and the engine spec, USRA 282 engine spec. I need to find something that doesn't include that. So my first thought is to get one of these really terrible, well, they're not terrible, but the old model is old. CN class S1B Mikado engine and tender. I guess we could always use Blount. We could always use Blount as our Mikado. Oh, and they have, okay, I gotta download that too, because that's perfect. I need that. I will never in my life download these. Um, P2 Mikado engine spec. Is that the only one we're gonna have? Are we gonna have to have the P2 as our Mikado? E-spec, USRA light Mikado, Baldwin heavy Mikado. What uses these though? That's the real question: is what uses these? Also, something seems to have broken because it doesn't find any of the assets. Download station, are you okay, buddy? Yeah, of course he supports the British isms. It's just, it's broken. We broke it. Oh! I closed out one of the windows and the game is very unhappy all of a sudden. I think we've crashed it. What did I say? If we're in a route, it's going to crash it. Close the program. Alright. Back to what we were doing then. Without being in the game. Downloads. No, sorry. Desktop. Games. Please don't give me a data erase repair. Okay. We're going to go on download station. And I'm going to say delete all that. I'll say GA. And just go down to the bottom where I have the stuff that I've already downloaded. Look for GA. H-I-J-K. G is before H. It's GA space, so it's probably going to be at the top of this list. No? Where is it? I typed in Georgia and it showed up before. Yeah, GAF. Did I miss it? I don't know, whatever. List dependencies. Once again, we're looking at something without this engine spec. So, let's download these two. Let's download Blount. Oh, it's still broken, huh? Something's wrong here. This is supposed to be the graph of how well the download station is doing. I just downloaded stuff. It was working 20 minutes ago. I downloaded a bunch of signals. You guys were here for it. You saw it. I don't think it's my internet because I'm still streaming just fine. And nothing else has changed. Did I crash the download station? Is that what happened? I mean, let's look at the list of things to do then. I really don't feel like doing the interlocking towers, if I'm honest. I really don't. When we do iPortaling again, I think I'm just going to delete them for that. So, I can't really go on without fixing... Okay, connection interrupted, huh? Maybe this doesn't work anymore. Or maybe it is just broken all of a sudden. I wonder. I wonder. Oh, there it goes. It just did it. We're moving again. Just had a moment. Okay. So I'll download these because apparently downloading is the thing we can do again now. Or maybe it just takes a hot minute every single time. No, there it goes. Okay. So download those. Download Blount. I kind of forgot that that was a DLS item. Uh, Download NDAM USRA Mikado. Neither of these have grabbed this one. I am wondering. I am wondering. List dependencies of the S1B. Why does it say they're third party? No! Oh wait, that's a different one, isn't it? Is that a different one? Hold on. Where'd it go? I have too many of these windows open. That is a different e-spec. So we can use Blount, I think. I mean, the only issue is that the... Oh, wait a minute. Is this just pulling... Is this pulling... my leg? Are these two items the... No. Hold on. What if I delete these? What happens? Oh, they're gone. Damn. Hold on. Better idea now. Better idea then. Because if I can't download those off the DLS, I'm gonna delete this too. 3254. Because this should be on there. No, it's not. Oh, that's interesting. Wait, maybe it's under S1B. I always thought this was on the DLS. Although I suppose then I would have already downloaded it a long time ago. I'm surprised it hasn't been uploaded after all that time. Okay, it's still downloading the Cross at Western thing, which is really not what I need. I'm just going to download this. Oh, Content Manager is having a time right now. It's having trouble with this library. It's also doing the I lost connection doom countdown. .282A engine spec. Is that the one that we... No. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Darn it. I wonder if there's a different... I wonder if there's a different version. Or maybe I can replace it with an older version, perhaps. I wonder if that would make a difference. Alright. Let's, Light 282E spec. Can I see list dependents? And there's nothing, of course. Never downloading these. Never as long as I live. This isn't... That just uses... That uses... Blount or whatever. Oh, what happened? YouTube is not receiving enough video. Why is that? I think everything's working fine. I think it'll get over it. 30NG mic. Mic's board. USRA L mic. EVT mic. That's not what we need. Slightly the wrong thing. Will it let me do this? Can I search like this, or will it just... Yeah, no. Let me see if I can find a USRA one, the old kind. The old ones. E-Spec, USRA 482, 2882. This one, Milton Valley. This looks like an old one. Maybe we can borrow this. Oh, there are newer versions available, apparently. Hopefully those newer versions use a different engine spec. Alright, hold on. Let's look. List dependencies. No! Stop it! Use the old one! Someone out there has to. Someone out there has to use a different engine spec. I should have just downloaded that version. It looks like you recreated them all, and when did so. Oh, okay. This is an old one. AI DCC. We're going only for AI DCC control. Interesting. I'll try it. Maybe it is recommended not for human control because it has a different engine spec. Huh? Perhaps? Silver linings? I'm going to try something else as well. I'm going to keep looking through this list. No, these are really nice. These are the nicer ones. 282A. Yeah, no, that's a nicer one. I like how it even has the 282A, like, to let me know that it's using that engine spec. Oh, how about the Q one? Let's see. Arcade and Attica. Okay, I don't think that's right. That's a new one. Let's see. Oh, missing dependencies. What are you missing? List dependencies. Oh, it's missing some stuff. Alright, the Q thing does not work. USRA Light 282. Let's see the dependencies. Ah! AI DCC version. I love AI DCC version. Let's go into Trainz. And we're going to do a direct comparison. Oh, where's all my routes? Oh, there we go. I was going to say, Tollbrain's gone. Sorry, series is over. Use changes. Alright. I am going to add another track here. And I'm going to give these guys... I'm going to delete these. I'm going to clear up the derails because we don't need that anymore. Oh, something broke over here. Tollbrain is dead. Crab rave. Yeah. Come on, get rid of the... That's not good. Alright, whatever. Cleaning up. Cleaning up around here. And I'll just grab these signals because... Oh, and I'm working on the session layer, aren't I? Oops. Alright. I actually do want a pair of derails. I want that, and I want that. Straighten them out. And while I'm here, set... Yep, that's fine. Okay. I'm hitting okay, it's not doing it. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. These switches are going to be set the wrong way, so I'm creating like a small gauntlet for these guys. And and I'm going to add, I'm going to just drag this signal over here and spin it around. Oh, I can probably use Surveyor 2.0 to move it over, which I will. Back to Surveyor Classic. West 2. And let's add some kind of hopper here. I do want to make these two tests as identical as I can, so I'm going to set the trigger radius of this to 20. West and West 2, I'm going to set the radius of this to 20, although that doesn't really matter. And I'm going to grab my GA F63 tender. And then I'm going to grab my, what was it? It was a B&O thing, right? Yeah, it was a B&O 4500. 4500. We're learning stuff today. Look how much worse that looks. Isn't it nostalgic? Okay. And we're going to see how good you guys can do. We're going to say... we're going to edit session. We're going to restart all rules. Driver command. Oh, wait, no, not driver command. Driver setup. Okay. You are on the left, so you are number 2, I think. Navigate to track mark. Drive to track mark signal test 2. Or, sorry. Drive via track mark signal test 2. And then couple at track mark west 2. And we'll do the same thing here. Drive via track mark signal test 1. And then couple at track mark west. And then I don't have like a... Oh, you know what? I'll say halt train. Because we'll see how quickly they can come to a stop. Start them in more or less the same spots. Make sure these are in more or less the same spots so it's there when it tries to figure out how to throw the switch. The signals are in the same spots. And these two are in the same spots and facing the same direction. Okay, so let's drive the session then. I don't care about this tenderless Kanawa. Kanawa. The AI only is off to an early lead. Oh, but it starts slowing down much quicker. Oh, did I hit drive 2? Oh, are these backwards? No, wait. No, that's fine. Why can't you go? Oh, because it's not recognizing that. Also, this guy rolled past the red. Alright, that's already a bad sign. But let's try this again. Pull these guys back to here. Yeah, that says end of line. I don't know why that guy couldn't figure out how to get to this. Maybe he doesn't like these cars. Let's do something really basic. Let's do something we know we're going to use. PRR FM flatcar, why not? Oh, target layer is invalid. Oh, that might have something to do with it. Route layer. Thank you. Route layer. Never F up your layers, guys. Always, always on the route layer. I'm actually going to scoot these signals back just to give a little more room. Oh, shoot. No, I'm not. I'm going to scoot the flat cars forward so that any confusion caused by the couple at track mark command isn't isn't a thing. It isn't a thing. They should figure it out. I'm running out of steam. All right, go guys, go. Junction is missing lever. What junction is missing? What? Are the levers on the wrong layer? Oh, wait, hold on. Edit and Surveyor Classic. Here's what we gotta do. We gotta do... When we set the rules, and we restart the rules, we need to do this, and we need to tell it... We need to tell the driver setup to remove all existing and generate new drivers for empty trains. Okay. That should be fine. It should be recreating them. And let me just make sure that these switch levers... Yeah. This is why you don't F with layers. This is why you do it the right way the first time. You don't have to fix all your layers. Alright, it should... When I reset this, it should reset all the rules. It did. Okay. What the heck is with those puffs over there? This guy accelerates a little faster. And has way better brakes. Like, miles better brakes. Look at this. This guy's still rolling. It's like he's never heard of a brake lever. This is why this guy's Magic Mike. Yeah, and now we passed a signal of danger. Idiot. This guy stopped way over here because he's not sure what to do. But he should, like, theoretically figure out that he can throw this switch. Right? Right? It says end of line and not... It's not the fact that it's the wrong line that's tripping him up. Alright, but point is, this is way better. Like, miles better. So, let's just go back to select route and let's swap this guy out. Because at least then, we can make it work. Doesn't Magic Mike stop before the can passes the signal? I'm not sure what you're asking. If there's a joke here, I don't get it. I can admit that. Am I still sharing my screen? Yes. You don't need that right now. And oh, before the cab passes the signal. Yes, but that doesn't matter. All right, we're gonna throw in the other Mikado here. This is 685, and I'm just gonna Control-C that, and I'm gonna delete that, and I'm gonna say because this is sitting on a thing. It's sitting on a track mark that has a thing associated with it, a schedule associated with it, so that if I just give it a tender and I call it this, when it starts the game, it should just get the schedule that it needs. And then we shouldn't have any problems, because this is which track mark is this? I don't know how the signals would know where the cab is. Butler Yard Roundhouse 3. Alright, so we just put that on the wrong layer. It actually goes on seed. Let me... Seed. Seed. Oh, it does the whole consist at once. Yeah, that makes sense. This is track 3. Schedule... Oh, no, not schedule library. I need schedule at track mark olive. Butler Yard Roundhouse 3, and then it goes OLMV-1, which is in here. MLOL1 OLMV-1. It waits for the coal company to get triggered, and then it goes and it grabs a caboose, ties that caboose onto the train, runs around to the front end of the train, and leaves. And man, do I want to see that happen. So this is... I'm going to delete this for now. And I'm going to say wait for derailment to occur, and then I'm going to add a rule here that's going to be message pop-up. Oh, whoops. Pop it out there. And, something wrecked. Pause the game. Yep, waits for derailment. Trigger derailment watch once. What does that mean? Session rule automatically react to messages from interlocking towers and display a path selection dialog. If you wish to disable the interface, simply remove this rule for your session. Oh, okay. Okay, no, I need that. Specifies which commands will be available to the players and driver. I wonder if this... Okay, now I need to test something. No, I don't feel like testing that right now. I genuinely don't feel like testing the interlocking towers right now. Test how path rule works with automatic path selection. Because maybe I should just turn that off entirely, which would help the iPortal session. Clinic Loco Exchange. Where is my ideas doc? Once again. There it is. Consolidation takes cars from ML to OL and AM. Mikado takes fulls with pickups in AM after above. With pickups. What is it picking up? What is it picking up? Genuinely, what is it picking up from here? Oh, it's picking up the scrap guns. What are these here? These are full of limestone aggregate. Oh, they're from the quarry, that's right. And where are they going again? Limestone aggregate. This is probably going to. Yeah. Okay. Okay. These are all going that way. You know what I didn't have? What I don't have in Pan Am, which makes sense really, but we don't have like a little engine shed for a switcher that works the grain elevator. That would kind of be nice to have. Well, do I start this thing over again? Because there's really nothing in the first hour that matters. And the other sort of sticky wicket is if I do decide to redo all of these, then I've got to redo everywhere they're referenced. So I think I'm just going to... Oops, that's a tree. I think I'm just going to leave it. As much as I want to standardize these, I think I'm just going to leave it. Okay, apparently there's a problem. Oh, this has all of them set up. Or at least most of them. I wonder what's wrong with this. Or I wonder what it thinks is wrong with it, really. Hmm. Well, I don't know what else there is for me to do right now. Other than start the session again, but really I'm a little done because, well, we found problems and we fixed those problems. And if I let it go for the next 50 minutes, we're probably not going to find any more problems. Maybe we'll see if the signal works. But I also kind of need to see if one of the things I need to know is if if this train here leaves before the other train gets back. Also, all the stuff on this track is just junk. It doesn't pertain to anything yet. It's just junk. It's just sitting there. Right, because we have to wait for the other guy to come back. Let me spend some of this next 50 minutes thinking, and then I'll end it and go make food. But MLOL, LOL, lol. Oh, I sent it to the water pipe at the end, which is not really a great spot for it to end off. But it Butler Yard South C is the last thing it does. Oh wait, no, it couples at the coal company and leaves those cars there. And then waits, goes, puts the caboose away, and goes and sticks itself in front of the thing. Now, problem with that is if it's just vibing right here, it's in the way of the Mikado. But what is it waiting for? It waits for the Mikado, right? Well, either way, that doesn't matter because, yeah. Oh, and that's a problem. If I have it tuck into the same stall as the Mikado, it's gonna be given the track mark schedule. Oh no. Okay, that's not great. Hmm. That's my problem because I can't really fit it onto the turntable. If we look at, it used to live in this middle stall. So what does it do afterward? Because I can't let it rest. Consolidation takes cars from ML to OL. Mikado takes fulls. Mikado hands off the train to the switcher, and Dead heads back to Mason's Landing. Then the Jeep takes the empties and heads to Bellington. And what do we want the consolidation to be doing during this time? Because it's not going to be running down here. It's not going to be going that way. And I can't have it go into the roundhouse. And it doesn't really make sense to have it run this. Because, I mean, unless I want it to come out here, load up as many logs as possible, wait 10 minutes, do that again. I mean, I guess we could do that. So then it should probably take its caboose with it. It's kind of annoying that I have to find a use for this thing that doesn't involve it, you know, just chilling in the engine house where it belongs because I can't fit it on the turntable. I mean, I guess what I could do is put a second track mark in so that it doesn't pull in quite as far. That's another option. Because the thing is, we have this guy to do the yard switching. This guy's road job, this guy's road job, this guy's branch line, and we have an empty spot. We have this guy to do the yard switching. But we could have more than one switching op going on at the same time. I mean, we definitely will have more than one. Because this will still be going on at the same time as these other operations that need to go on. I can't put the consolidation in the empty spot. I can't put it in anything except for the center stall because it won't fit on the turntable. It'll fit on going in because there's room on this side, but it won't be able to pull back on to go out. That's the real problem. Also, where did I get this? It has to be stuff that's mogul size or smaller to go into the empty spot here. No, when I ran the consolidation out of here before, yeah, it's basically if it's larger than the mogul, it can't get out. I might be able to if I really min-max the turntable, but I just don't think that's going to happen. So maybe sending it out on the branch is the way to go, because yeah, I mean, look at this. We've got this is the only train with... No, I can't. It's integral to the roundhouse. I can't replace the turntable. This is the only car that's this is oh, this is in this spot. And if it ends up in a different spot, then we have to redo the whole thing. And I was thinking that the oil is going to come in later for the Lionhead turn in for this. If there's a train that leaves if there's sort of a way freight that leaves Wambeck in the morning and makes its way northward, then the oil's going to show up later. This is something that I was grappling with a while ago and wondering what order these would be. And I mean, reordering the stuff, it isn't the most critical thing in the world. because I can just assemble the train a certain way. But it doesn't make sense to pull this thing apart just to get the tank car in the middle. Two mismatch if I use the shortest tender I could fit. That's an interesting question. It would look weird though. It's a thought. It's definitely a thought, but it would look bizarre. Um, I think the best solution is to send it out onto the branch line. Because if I do send it out onto the branch line, then we have this consist of cars here that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean that's as many as you can fit, and that's like 3 times the capacity of this. Yeah, I don't know if I have that, or I don't know if that's on the DLS. You know, I need it to be on the DLS. It's also uphill to here and downhill back, so I don't know. It's an interesting kind of problem. A lot of it depends on how the trains are going to work, but most of the way freights probably wouldn't be getting here until like noon at least, and then the locals would go out late. But this guy needs to go out right after the morning rush, so this tank car is going to be here. And the reason I bring that up is because we need the 4 hopper cars for this train. And I think what I'm going to have it do is I'm going to have it come down here with the caboose, grab the train, back it down onto these cars, put the caboose over here, and then come out and then back down onto the caboose. Or something like that. Although the track mark will be on the other side, so I'll need another track mark for the caboose. Or I can use like couple at trigger or something for this. At least it's only one more track mark. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. There's nothing I can do beyond this except for just racking my brain. And then at some point in the future, some point in the distant future, we will be dealing with the repercussions of something like putting this in the middle of the consist. We'll burn that bridge when we come to it. I'll see you next week.